The more time has gone on, the more it has made me upset. Oh my God, I have butterflies. Like, so I'm like, no, there's no way that's real. No, it's real. Who was gonna tell me having a crush was so distracting? Me and this mystery man's Parisian man. And it was so romantic. All she does is talk about her ex-boyfriend. I don't even know what I'm gonna keep in this video because it's like, I feel weird. It is 10:15 p.m. tonight. We've got a full iced coffee here and we are going out tonight. In today's video, we have some long overdue tea to spill. I'm assuming most of you guys are not new to my channel, but if you are, welcome. My name is Fernanda. I have been posting YouTube videos for it's gonna be 6 years now. Insanity. I have a podcast channel called A Better You by Fernanda. It is all about self-care, wellness, self-improvement, and on my main channel here, I do a lot of videos, or I did. Guys, I haven't posted in a hot minute, and that's what we're gonna talk about in today's video, okay? But I post a lot of self-care, routine, wellness, beauty, fashion, travel, vlogs, lifestyle, all of the above. But I've been in a little bit of a hiatus these days. Or should I say this past year? I've seen the comments. They're everywhere, on every platform. Everyone is so mad at me because I haven't been posting, and you know what? As much as I needed the time off, I understand that I cannot leave you guys abandoned. I've even had people in person come up to me, say hi, and say, by the way, girl, when's your next video? And I'm like, before I get ahead of myself, in today's video, we are going to be oversharing about everything that has been this past year. Last year, I went through my first and only biggest breakup of a lifetime. Guys, we dated for almost 6 years. Entering the dating scene at 23 years old. Having my first interaction with men after that long relationship. Mourning the relationship. Realizing what even was my relationship for the last little bit. Some revelations that I had. A lot of self-reflection. But then going on dates. Having fun, flirty, single time. Then having a super epic crush. There's so much tea to unpack. Guys, I almost want this to feel like a FaceTime with an old friend because y'all are my besties. And for the past 6 years, I have been sharing so much of my life that I have felt like I've been incognito the past year. To be honest, I needed it. I needed some alone time without telling my besties what the hell is going on because I'm trying to navigate what the hell is going on. But now that I feel a little bit more stable and a little bit more like, okay, I'm ready to share, y'all are hearing the tea first and right here. If that kind of explains what the purpose of this video is, then sit back, get a drink, and let's chat. And yeah, I'm actually getting ready to go to the club tonight. It's Sunday. I almost feel a little bit like I don't even remember how to do this, which is not a feeling I want to have. I never want to have that feeling. And I remember guys so deeply when I was 14 watching my favorite YouTubers. I would watch every single week, and when they did a little hiatus, they would probably do it in the car and they're like, why I left YouTube for a minute. And I'd be like, these YouTubers, why are they not posting weekly? I'm here like refreshing on my page and they are not posting videos. How dare they, okay? I was that subscriber. I was probably commenting, girl, where's your next video? Girl, isn't your job to post a video? And then I became the YouTuber and I realized it's slightly so unsustainable and you kind of have to commit to living in the metaverse. It is so hard to constantly show up online and basically be like a little TV character for the people watching. I never thought I'd be the one to say this because again, I saw these people saying it, but I'm a real person and I feel like as a consumer, as a watcher, it's so easy to be like, why aren't they posting? I want to see them every day. I want to hear about what's going on with them. I want to see what they're doing. I want to like, you know, be in the knowing. But when you are actually the one posting and you're posting every single week for years, and you don't really give yourself a break, and then you go through like a traumatic heartbreak. When you go through that kind of breakup, I feel like it kind of shifts your identity and you need to take a little bit of a step back to like recollect yourself and be like, who am I outside of this person? And then to post at the same time when you like don't really know who you are yet, but you're expected to show up online authentically. It's honestly really difficult, and I'm not asking for sympathy, but I'm explaining for context, just so you understand where my mentality has been for the past year and why I feel like it was so hard for me to post. Stopping my little rant here, but I'm gonna have all the products listed in the description box below as I get ready, but I'm gonna just get ready and talk at the same time. As I was saying, sorry to get ahead of myself there, but you know what they say, when you're like not feeling good, it's really hard to creatively express yourself, especially when you like want to show up authentically, because I could put on a facade, I could put on a little performance and cosplay being okay and then post, but like I know you guys across the screen don't want to see a performance of me being happy and healed, and as for me, I don't feel comfortable posting a performance of me being happy and healed when I'm not. And that's honestly something that I've noticed now that I'm single and I'm seeing how people cope with like a breakup. I feel like a lot of the times they put this mask on that they're okay when they're actually not, and I just can't do that. I can't do it. So anyways, the question that I have been getting asked all over my social media pages, literally on every single account that I have, everyone's always asking, why aren't you not posting? When's your next video? Where have you been? Why haven't you been? Whatever. I feel like you guys watching are gonna be like, girl, all she does is talk about her ex-boyfriend. When you date someone from like 16 to 23 and your frontal lobe is literally not developed yet, your sense of self is almost built through the people that are around you, through what you hear, through what you experience, whatever. I mean, I guess it's just codependency. Honestly, I never thought we were codependent because we lived such independent lives, but I feel like my identity was so intertwined with somebody else's, okay? And I started posting on YouTube like a year into us dating. And so me becoming a YouTuber was like a very shared thing between me and this person. And you know, I would be posting, I would be talking to them about like what video I'm gonna post through my whole YouTube journey. So when we broke up and I had to just keep posting like things were normal, I was like, I don't even know how to be a YouTuber. I don't even know how to show up online authentically as like a single person, because I've never posted on YouTube as a single person. I've always posted having a boyfriend, having this person in the sidelines cheering me on, talking to them, like let alone me single now, experiencing like new boys, new situationships, heartbreak, grief, crying all the time. I was like, I don't even know how to post and how to like act all happy when like I do not feel happy. I do not feel good. And everything feels like a big coping mechanism. How am I supposed to come up online and be like, hey guys, this is how to be that girl? I can't do it. So anyways, that was kind of where my mentality was. Also, for more backstory and more lore, I feel like a lot of times when people go through a breakup, you know, they're mourning missing the person, but then they get over the missing the person part and then they move on. Oh my God, you guys, no. Every month that I think we were apart, I had more revelations and my mind just cleared up from being in that love spell, and I realized how many things were actually wrong in my last relationship. I think when you are young and in love, you are blind to red flags. You are blind to toxic patterns. You are blind to problems in your own relationship. And when you have never been in a relationship before, a lot of the things that are not healthy or not good or are red flags, you think are normal because you don't know any better. So when me and my ex broke up and when I posted my breakup video, I was like, guys, everything is great and dandy. We're just going our separate ways. And then as time went on, I realized, oh my God, there were so many things wrong. There's so many things wrong. And that just caused me to like be more sad. It was not like a quick, just like missing the person and then I'm healed. It was like, oh my God, I didn't realize how blind I was to problems in my relationship, which honestly, in the future, I would love to make content on relationships and dating and like how to spot red flags and how to catch yourself in toxic situations and how to leave toxic situations when you can't in the moment. I really feel passionate about that. And I honestly really feel for my younger self. And I think that's a part of like what I was grieving in the past few months. And it's kind of what I'm trying to like turn into something positive on my podcast and like give episodes on like how to hold your boundaries and how to have self-respect and how to prioritize yourself and how to have self-love, because I was that girl when I was younger who probably didn't have the highest self-esteem. And even though to the outside world, it looked like I was thriving online and I was so fun and I was that girl, I'm like realizing how much of it was actually a performance. I don't know if this is making sense or if I'm sounding like really cryptic. I feel like I'm used to my content being very like happy and uplifting, that like when I want to talk about something real and something like serious, I get really like, I don't even know how to talk about this. What I'm trying to say is that the relationship that I was in, when I left it, I was still blinded to what it really was. And the more time has gone on, the more it has made me upset and like sad for my younger self, because I realized how much I was putting up with that should not have happened and was not okay. And that's not to say that I was also an angel. I'm sure there were things that like, I'm positive there were things that I did wrong in my last relationship too. And at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to being like so young and being in a relationship and not knowing any better. And now I'm so proud of myself for knowing better and for knowing more. But I feel like the past few months, I've just been living in my head, like thinking like, why did I let things slide? Why did I act that certain way? The past few months have been like such a learning lesson for me of like my last relationship and also who I am now with new relationships. And it's been mind-boggling, to say the least. I'm trying to make this like as juicy and as tea as I can without compromising my privacy, if that makes sense, and without outing anyone. But at the same time, I want to be able to own my own stories and like talk about things freely that happened to me from my perspective. I'm just like so happy to not be in that situation anymore. And I can't wait to talk to you guys about it in the future once I feel like I'm even more healed. When you leave a relationship that's like 6 years, there is so much that needs to be unlearned if it was a toxic relationship. And there's so much like reprogramming and like reteaching yourself that has to happen after that. And again, that doesn't have to happen. I could just ignore this and I could like la 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 and like, you know, bypass all of that. But I want to be someone who acts in alignment to what they preach. So like, I can't be someone who talks about healing on my podcast and then show up online and like be like, hey guys, like I'm hooking up with all these guys and like fuck the breakup and fuck the healing and like hot girl summer. Like I just cannot be the person who is like performing being healed when they're actually going through the healing process. So I think that you can hold the contradiction of like having happy days, being happy, feeling so proud of yourself, and like even being in new situations and having crushes and like being in the dating scene while still holding space for the feelings of like confusion of being like, who am I without this person? The feelings of like being burnt out and like not knowing how to get back in the groove, you know, grieving a person that was so important in your life. I don't think that you need to pretend like that didn't happen or that you weren't hurt by it. I don't think that it makes you stronger to like pretend that you're okay when you're not. I think what makes you strongest is to acknowledge that you went through something difficult and to actively be healing and to actively talk about it so that you can help the girlies not go through that as well. I feel like I haven't been so honest with my feelings on my channel in a long time, also because I've never had to navigate being single while posting online. And like the fact that like I want to talk about my feelings and I want to talk to you guys as like my girl best friends, and then I'm like, wait, low-key, why can my ex watch this video? Why can any new guy that I'm talking to watch this video? Why can somebody's like family member watch this video? Why can my potential suitors watch this video? Like, ew, I never had to think about that before. But anyways, I kind of want to wrap that little reflection in a bow and just like put it to the side. That's kind of where my mind has been at in terms of heartbreak and healing and processing a relationship that was actually a lot more toxic on both ends than I thought it was at the time. If you guys want to see content also on relationships and breakups and just like that in itself, I feel like I have so much to talk on that. Literally, guys, all of my friends have gone through a breakup this year, like every single one of them. And honestly, being single with all your friends at the same time, I thought was gonna be like a movie, but it's been so interesting seeing how everybody heals on their own and how everybody heals so differently and how everybody processes so differently. And it's been a crazy time, but it's also been a time of like sisterhood. And I feel like all my friends have just been enjoying like girlhood and like prioritizing female friendships and decentering men. And for that, I cannot be more thankful for. I'm so happy that I have my girls to rely on. And if any of you guys are going through a breakup, prioritize friendship, because those are the girlies that are gonna stay with you even through thick and through thin. And if I didn't have those girlies to rant to, y'all wouldn't even see me again. Sorry, I got really heated there. I've been doing my makeup so out of order too. On another note, you guys, single Fernie. Y'all have not seen single me ever. Like ever. I have never been single on my YouTube channel, except for this past year. But even then, I feel like I haven't been posting that much on YouTube. So it's like, I haven't really talked to you guys as like a single girly, and I haven't talked to you guys about being single. I've never felt so free in my life. I feel so like I can do whatever I want. I can be myself. I feel like even though times have been hard, yes, I have loved this past year, this year of being 23, like discovering who I am, having fun and like flirting. So far single, I have traveled to London, Paris, different places in Portugal, LA, Hawaii, Miami, which was freaking insane. And in my early days of being single, boy, did I have fun. To give you some tea, some oversharing tea, in my early days of being single, I had a lot of fun giving my number out, talking to new people, saying yes to impromptu hangouts, going on little coffee dates, going on a little dinner date here and there. Yes, I tried Hinge. Yes, I tried Raya. It was really fun, honestly, like making my profile and like figuring out like how I wanted to like brand myself. I say brand, but it's like not brand. It's like how I wanted to portray myself in a dating scene. That was really interesting. Talking to people on the street, like single, cause like, you know, I feel like I get approached a fair amount when I'm out and about, and I genuinely think it's because I have such approachable energy. But in the past, because I had a boyfriend, you know, I always have to say like, no, I can't, whatever, because I have a boyfriend. But being single, on the other hand, was so much fun to talk to new people, to, you know, engage in small talk, longer talk, just overall conversing with people, like with men, the opposite gender, that I couldn't do before. I'm gonna give you guys some tea about some of the stories, but it's very minimal, and this was in the early days of me being single. But I had a little moment in Paris, like after a club where my flight was supposed to take off at 7 in the morning, and me and this mystery man's Parisian man, like ran around Paris at 5 in the morning until 7 a.m. and it was so romantic, and we kissed under the bridge and under the Eiffel Tower, and it was so dark and nobody was out, and boy was it freeing. I was like, I have never done something like this before. I feel so like I'm in a movie right now. That was a really fun morning. I don't even know what you want to call that. Other than the fun times, oh God, I also witnessed some non-fun times. I witnessed the dating scene for what I've heard it was, and dabbled in entertaining for 5 minutes, 2 weeks. Toxic fine shit, as they say on TikTok these days. It's like, Fern, don't ever say that ever again. Like ever again. Did meet and interact with some questionable men. This didn't last very long because immediately I was like, there's no way this is real. You know, I've heard about horror dating stories about like guys who are really toxic, who will like try to gaslight you and manipulate you, and like, actually, I know about that far too well. But like new people that I've never talked to before, I'm like, there's no way this is real. Like there's no way. Like sometimes when I see those TikToks about like texts, insane texts that like guys will send to girls, I'm like, no, there's no way that's real. No, it's real. Had my experience with that, and I was like, we're never doing that again. We are never entertaining this again. So learned my lesson real quick on there. When I first became single, I was like, I really just want to meet new personalities, see what I like, what I don't like. And I feel like that's very common to hear like in dating. People always tell you like, just date around, date a lot of people, like figure out what you vibe with and what you don't. And I feel like now I have such a good understanding of like things I do not tolerate and what I'm looking for in a partner, or like in just someone that I want to spend time with. So, you know, it took some trial and error to meet those different personalities and like see what I'm vibing with. Although some of them were insane, honestly, for the plot, I needed to see how either good it gets or how bad it gets. So that was really funny. On the other hand, this is where the tea comes in, you guys. I've low-key been seeing somebody for the past little bit, and you know, I can't say much. It's been great. Honestly, I feel like I've been treated so well with such chivalry, getting taken out on dates, experiencing just a new vibe. I feel like it's been so refreshing and so fun to experience different personalities that are so different than what I'm used to in the past. And I feel like every person brings out a different side of you. And so honestly, I feel like maybe that's even another reason why I haven't been posting as much, is because I feel like I've had so much personal growth, and I'm not the same person that I was last year, or even the same person that I was in my last relationship. And so now, even though I feel like a woman and I feel fuller and more alive and more present and more excited and more like genuinely, I feel more like in an adult type of relationship, less like teenager vibe. I feel like that has brought out a different side of myself. I'm just learning who I am now, that I feel like it's hard to show up online when it's like, you know, you're just discovering yourself and who you are in this new dynamic. I'm trying to think of like tea that I can tell you guys about this new connection that I have, but I also am honestly like loving keeping, again, my dating life kind of private, just because I feel like it kind of preserves it for what it is and doesn't kind of have like external opinions and, you know, all of that. But what I will say, you know, good chemistry, good vibe, good dates, good chats, lots of butterflies. Guys, I hadn't experienced like a new crush, obviously, in freaking years. And I'm just gonna say, like, if this wasn't to work out, or like, I don't know, if this like ends, whatever, as things do, because apparently change is inevitable, but like, you know, hopefully not, but like if things do, okay, you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know if I can do it again, because who was gonna tell me having a crush was so distracting? I say that with the best like intentions, or like with the best feelings, but like, oh my God, I've been kind of butterflies for months, and honestly, if I almost can't take all the credit, even though a lot of it has been me, but like, if you guys saw me in previous months and you guys were like, oh, she looks like she's glowing, all I'm gonna say is that I have a really good vibrational vibe in my life that has been making me really happy. So who knows what the future holds, but the past few months, I've also been very happy and life has been good. It's like, it's just so crazy, the contradiction, you know? Like, you can still grieve something and like hold space for the pain that was, and also be so excited about the new and be like, oh my God, I have butterflies. Like, it's insanity. That's kind of the dating life update. I know that was like a huge update. That was basically like the entirety of this video, but I know that's what you guys were most excited to see and talk about. But yeah, oh my God, you guys. I don't even know what I'm gonna keep in this video because it's like, I feel weird. How are we feeling about this? Red heels, red bag. I love going out, unfortunately. Or fortunately. I don't know if I love this look though. It's too late now. I feel like you guys have a really, honestly, like up-to-date snapshot of where I'm at right now. This is what I want to kind of close this video on. Past relationship, it's done, it's in the past, and we're integrating the lessons and not repeating mistakes. As for the single era, I am enjoying my freedom. I am enjoying prioritizing myself and my own self-love and my boundaries and my standards and not accepting less than I deserve, being in my divine femme. Guys, that's my favorite word these days. Feeling alive, feeling present. I feel like I needed this break, honestly. I feel like for so many years from posting, and then realizing, actually, I kind of want to touch on this a little bit. Nothing I ever posted was fake or inauthentic, but I'm realizing that when I was younger, a lot of the actions I took were in favor of my YouTube channel, and like something as simple as like the fact that I moved out of my childhood home. I moved because I was like, this is gonna be great content. This is great for me. This is great for like, you know, the videos, for the views, for the this. And I moved so quickly without even like mourning the fact that I would never be in my childhood home again. Something as little as that, you know, it's realizing that a lot of the actions that I took in my earlier years of this career, I took because of the career, but I'm realizing like, was a lot of what I was doing, was I living for me in real life, or was I living to be entertaining to an audience? Was I choosing things that would make me feel the best, or was I just choosing things that would look the best online? Was I prioritizing my well-being and my happiness, or was I prioritizing the numbers, the way things looked, and my external shell? Was I prioritizing Fernanda Ramirez, the human being, or Fernanda Ramirez, the brand? That's kind of what I want to like say, and what I feel like I've been trying to unlearn. Maybe it's my frontal lobe developing, but like now that I'm like 23 turning 24, which is freaking insane, I'm like, what do I want? What is true to me? What did I outgrow? Because let's be honest here, I'm not gonna be the same as I was at 19 or 20 or 21. I feel like 23, 24 is like a freaking woman now. A lot of my friends are graduating. There's a lot of change going on around me, and it's like, it's not just like go on a cabin girl trip with me. It's like, oh, life is really happening. Time is passing. Things are changing. I'm a woman now. I can't just be in like little situationships that are toxic, you know? It's like time to stand on business a little bit. And like, also, what kind of creator do I want to be? Do I want to be a creator that posts 24/7, that posts everything they do, that prioritize being online over presence? Or do I want to prioritize depth and creating content that is like quality and not just quantity? I feel like there's just a lot of just discovering like what kind of creator I want to be, because at the end of the day, I don't see myself really as like an influencer, and I don't want to be someone that just promotes products. I want to be somebody that like brings substance online and that like speaks about things that they're passionate about. And I feel like that's why I've been prioritizing my podcast a lot, because like I feel like I can really express myself on there, and like the fact that I can kind of express myself on there in longer form than even a YouTube video. I feel like sometimes in a YouTube video, I feel the pressure to speak faster and be entertaining and make sure people are watching, and it's just like, what type of creator do I want to be? You know, it's different than short form content. It's different than just being like, guys, shop this hairspray. Like, you know, I want to be someone that I would have needed when I was younger. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, you guys, I'm gonna adopt a new schedule. I'm gonna be posting weekly. I want to get back on track. I'm really sorry that I was not as active and posting as much as I wanted to on here. I did not mean to abandon you guys, but I was trying to not abandon myself. I was trying to prioritize my own feelings and my own emotions. And as, again, I'm gonna say it, even though I feel like I've said it so many times, as somebody who wants to show up on their own platform as authentically as they can, and like show up with not just like fluff and performative healing, but like show up as somebody who like actually took the time to learn the lessons, to understand why they did the things they did, to understand why they stayed in situations, and to like integrate the new, experience the new, and then like be able to like speak with newfound wisdom and like be able to actually help other people and not just like post fluff. that is ideally the creator that I want to be. I feel like I've been in a liminal space for the past few months, honestly the past year, where like I'm not who I was and I'm not who I'm going to be yet. So I've been in this kind of like becoming era, this little like gray zone of like, who am I? What do I like? What do I do? Who do I want to be? Like it might just be the early 20s existential midlife crisis. Like it might just be what every girl or boy or whatever in their 20s feels, and it's that little bit of confusion. And I think that that's normal. If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling confused, you're not alone. If you're going through heartbreak, you're not alone. If you're healing, you're not alone. And we are allowed to be a living contradiction. I say that all the time, but like one doesn't take away from the other. And if anything, I want to see more people online posting about their healing journey rather than just their hot girl summer, what boy is next, what girl is next. You know, I want to actually make sure that I feel good and that I post out of a place of feeling good. And do I need to work on my discipline and post more and like be consistent? Yes, I will take full accountability for that. I'm so grateful for this job and so grateful that like this is what I get to do as a living. It's genuinely what I'm so passionate about and I could not see myself doing any other thing. So thank you if you're still watching. If you want to tell me what videos you guys want to watch, let me know, and I promise you guys I will be back on the whole wellness, that girl, that vibe. It might be a little bit different, but you also have to accept that, and I have to accept it too, that I'm not the same person that I once was, and like I would honestly rather post what is real than what I feel like Fernanda Ramirez, the YouTuber, should be posting, if that makes sense. But anyways, I feel like those are all the updates I have for you. If you want to stay tuned with my journey from here on out, I would love that. I hope that this kind of gave you guys some clarity on what I've been going through. I missed you guys, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.